Good afternoon. How are you? Well, it's beautiful here. Thomas Jefferson says the temperature is 66 degrees. The humidity's 27, and the wind's 7 miles an hour. Don't feel any of that wind, so it's a nice day out. The news of the day is of the nature of Trump's calamity as a factor for change. In almost every case, if you could score all the things that happen in the vacuum that is Trump, he makes a decision to cause pain, hurt, and suffering. It's a combination of discrimination. It's a combination of getting even, but not just the ones who really hurt him, but entire groups. The madness in his mind is of a nature that is dangerous to the Republic. The sooner more people who supported him are hurt, the sooner we will pick up the kind of support we need. We are marching forward in courts and getting decisions that favor the Republic as we prefer it, not as a march toward monarchy. We have today the news that the three major indexes in the market are going down. The safe talk is that there's a slump, that it will pass. And it's the same language coming from this West Wing that came from an older West Wing when Trump was president again. And he gave these reassurances in spite of facts and knowledge to the contrary. In that case, that we didn't have to worry about the virus, COVID-19. All will be well. Don't worry about it. Go to work. And in a way, he was pushing people to go to work to help the economy because he believed that was necessary for his reelection. But now, he seems indifferent to the pain and suffering. Consider how his mind lived in this place where he feared jail, prison, ignominy, the loss of funds, the loss of a public who favored him for the vacuums in their own life and their inability to see what an evil and wrong person Trump was. All the data points are there. Yet I have Republicans telling me, I didn't think he was going to do this about firing people from their federal jobs. The fact that they've been brought back serves two purposes. One is it gives encouragement that maybe we can restore order, but we also know that Trump operates and gives pain in chaos, which is a prescription to move into a monarchical situation, to punish and threaten people, to compromise them, to see the uncertainty of things so that he can do what he wants and assume the power he wants. People ask about the midterm elections. Are we sure we're going to have them? If so, are we sure we're going to have a general election 4 years later, 28? These are not scare tactics to raise these questions. In fact, the failure to raise them and to push back and seek assurances and remedies has put us at this risk. Well, thank you. And so, good neighbors make for good policy, in my opinion. We have so many people out there, I believe the majority, who know that when the market goes down, that's bad. not just for the big heavyweights in this business, but also those who are invested for their retirement. Even as the message goes out, watch out, will we keep Medicaid? Will we keep Medicare? Will Social Security be there? Trump deserves a metaphorical punch in the face, like any other bully. And that will only come if we act as if he is the danger that we know him to be. And that means members of Congress have to dirty their hands and get in the fight and risk losing their phony baloney jobs. More judges have to find the energy and time to be innovative in just and fair decisions that the public can remark, yes, that makes sense, that's good for us. As I speak to you, we're on a civil rights watch list, America is. And is that any surprise? We are punishing all manner of groups, schools, organizations, governments, for being concerned not to discriminate. It's become an acceptable thing. You can discriminate now. Isn't that wonderful? Yeah. And you, who supported Trump, can also lose your job and might also lose your savings. And so some are being brought around. One of the remedies among Republicans is, well, we'll just hurt those who are not Republicans. Oh, that's good. I think the courts could understand that that was wrong. And we seek to export electrical energy and materials to Canada. Well, they put a 25% tariff on that. And you know, you can't blame them. Even though it's going to hurt our industry, isn't it fair karma that the response to a once friendly nation is to punch them in the face, metaphorically, using the weapon against them that they would use against you, that they would use and withdraw? Canada is not taken in by this on-again, off-again thing. We've all seen those B movies in which the bad guy goes down and then they walk away and the bad guy gets up and, you know, finishes the scene winning until someone else can vanquish the bad guy. The bad guy here is Trump. No question about it. Never any question from the beginning. There are books and pamphlets. There are people with memories. There are victims of Trump. And still, this guy, like an oiled pig, manages to get through the defenses and standards that were created hundreds of years ago by our founding fathers, extended in amendments. And so still, we have to fight on. We have to do what's necessary. So, it remains the case to write to those who are in Congress, in the cabinets, in the state houses, to your local weekly paper. Tell a story, one of those Dickensian stories that have been prompted by the misconduct of the Orange Oath and the West Wing. That's what we have to do. And we can't do more than we can afford psychologically, mentally, financially, taking time away from our family. Those things all have to matter. But to the extent possible, and it doesn't have to be great, to be a ripple and a wave in a rush of change that throws this bastard out of office, or so clips his wings that he is a lame duck, and that time will take him down, and he won't be able to screw up this nation's finances or its freedoms, and that we will restore what this man would run away with because he has to have his vengeance. He's like a bad vengeance movie, and we have to deal with that. So as everybody runs around and hits their chest and says we're in dire straits, we have to say, no, we're not going to let this happen. We're going to push back. And the members of the cabinet clipped the wings of Elon, so that probably prompted him to do crazy shit. And we have to keep commenting on cabinet secretaries, telling them, so is that what you want your legacy to be? That you were a footstool for one of the worst presidents in American history, competing with bad chief executives across the world, and failing in casinos and failing in public life should be the signatures of his life when he finally passes and can do us no more harm. So that's a couple of thoughts I had. I have found lately that immersing ourselves, except for understanding, in any subject doesn't manifest a remedy. We have to work on that. And we can't pretend to be a Trudeau, but we can't support people like that and positions like that and say what Canada is doing right, even though it's to us in response to our chief executive doing in our friend. We have to talk about and carry flags on your car or in your yard or in your word of mouth supporting Ukraine. We have to do all these things because that's the only way that we can move the needle back to what is a republic rather than a fiefdom for the fat oaf to overrule. So that's what I got to say. And so here I am in our cathedral of trees on a warm day. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Bye-bye.